Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It's a kit 48300. It copies OV-10A Bronco. It's US attack aircraft in 1/48 scale, and of course this is a completely new tooled release, so it will be interesting to see what is actually included here and why this set is worth purchasing. So you can see that box size is standard for ICM. Here we have some information. There are 242 parts for assembly of one model, obviously, and on the opposite side you will find 4 marking options which are included into this kit, so you can copy one of this out of this 4. So it's quite an interesting package, and now we have a commercial sample, as I said before, so you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. We are going to open it together with you and check what is actually supplied in this box and why it is a worthy release in 1/48 scale. So let's open it. And we are going to start with a clear plastic sprue, so it is supplied in a separate plastic bag. You can also notice that we have quite nice molding, but I think it's worth opening it. And here you can take a closer look without any plastic bags around. So molding quality, I would say it is typical for ICM. There is nothing to complain about, and it should be easy to work with these parts. Next, we continue with the first plastic bag, which carries gray plastic sprues. Here you can see some of the fuselage parts. We also have some parts for the wings, but it will be better to open and take a closer look at this first gray plastic sprue. Obviously, this one is dedicated to the rear section, or let's say tail section, and of course it will be, each side will be assembled out of 2 halves. We also have a bar in the middle molded as a 2-piece assembly as well. Here you can see 2 other halves, so you will have to combine them together, and there are guiding elements inside, so it will be relatively easy to assemble all this stuff together. And we have also separate bottom panels, so you won't have any gaps in such visible area. Next, we continue with parts for the nose section. So here it will be a bit trickier because you will have to combine several parts together, but still it is doable. And again, we have lower panel molded separately, so it's really cool. But frankly speaking, I'm not sure why the nose cone is pre-molded. They could have molded it as a 1-piece part, but here we have it pre-molded with the fuselage half. So you have to be careful while working with all this stuff and definitely pay attention to any gaps in this area. Next, we continue with wing parts. So here we have 1 large panel and also 2 halves which will be installed from the bottom. As far as you can see, still it is quite easy thing to assemble, in my opinion. Just be sure to get the right alignment, because we all know that such aircraft type is really tricky to get into the right shape, and in 1/48 scale it will be even more fun because it's bigger model, so that's why I would recommend to pay attention to this. Next, we continue with another plastic bag. Here we have more plastic sprues with various minor elements, and again everything looks fine, nothing flies in the plastic bag, so we are going to open it right now and check what is actually included here. So here we have first plastic sprue from this bag, and you will see landing gear wheels. Well, I have no doubt that we will see resin upgrade which will replace these plastic wheels, and in my opinion it will be a worthy addition because we are dealing with a 1/48 scale model, but still molding quality seems to be fine. There is nothing to complain about, and I think it should be relatively easy to install even the tiniest parts, even though you have to use the special tools, because otherwise it will be almost impossible to get them into the right spot. Here we continue with a pair of sprues. So the one which we displayed just a few seconds ago, it is supplied in 2 pieces, basically the same parts, so there is no need to show the same. Here we go with the next one. This one is dedicated to armament, and that's exactly the same story. So we have a double sprue with the same set of parts, and again we are going to check only one, but still it is quite nice of ICM to include actually the armament, because not that many brands do this, and here we get it out of the box. And I guess you will be able to choose the loadout scheme on your aircraft. So overall design is quite typical for such armament type, so you won't be surprised. And again, I can bet that Edward will release some resin upgrade for this. Here you can take a look at the last gray plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to some cockpit parts. We have 1-piece cockpit floor. We have also fuel tank, which will be assembled out of 2 halves. and also some minor parts for landing gears. So I can see that there is no flash or any other visible damage, so I guess it's really nice. We also have separate ailerons and also elevators from what I can understand, but we will check it later in the assembly manual. And again, a lot of separate arms and struts which should be used for the landing gear, so pay attention to that. Next, we continue with the first decal sheet. So here we have all necessary symbols for 4 marking options. Some of them can be replicated with masks. For example, these anti-glare surfaces, definitely replicate them with masks because it will give you a better appearance. But we even have some minor decals for the instrument panels. There are no decals for seat belts, but at least something is included for the cockpit, we can say. And again, there will be some additional PE sets, so maybe you will be able to buy it separately from Edward. Here you can take a closer look at the printing quality. It's really nice, and as far as I remember, ICM decals are easy to work with, so I don't think you will have any major issues here. It's just a matter of careful application, and it might be a bit tedious, but let's not forget that we are dealing with a 1/48 scale model. And here is another decal sheet. So this one is dedicated to stencils and various stripes. Again, some stripes can be replicated with masks. And again, it's your decision whether you would like to go this route or you would like to use decals. Maybe with some decal softener, it will be quite a nice result. And the final thing in the package is the assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of typical ICM brochure. Here we have also a paints chart and some safety advices. There is a short history note and technical specifications, and of course a lot of pages inside. As you can see, they combine color print together with a black and white print, if we can say so. So here we begin with a parts map, and surprisingly there are not that many red areas, which will mean that parts are not used. So for example, here on the first page all parts are used. On the second page you can see that again all parts are used. This is quite surprising, to be honest, so be sure not to lose any of these elements. And here, by the way, you can see again that all parts will be used. So as I said before, be sure not to lose any of these parts because you won't have a second chance here. Assembly process starts with the pilot seat, so you assemble it on the cockpit floor. Then we proceed with the cockpit wall and another pilot seat which will be installed in front. Don't forget that this aircraft was a double-seater. And next we continue with instrument panel and side panels, side consoles in the cockpit area. Combing panel. Next we have these side panels which are inside the fuselage halves. So you can see there are some minor elements which should be added, but as I said, maybe you will be able to get the PE set which will add even more features. Here, by the way, note that you have to drill some holes in some areas. It will depend on your choice, so maybe make sure that you have some reference photos which you'll use for your build. Here we continue with the nose landing gear. And also we install barrels for machine guns. Again, a good thing to replace them with the metal for a bit more realistic appearance. Here we continue with the wing mechanization, so even flaps are supplied as separate parts. This is quite surprising, but it's good thing in a 1/48 scale because it will be a visual change, let's say, so that's why it's really good. Next, we continue with Canopy Parts. So manufacturer does not offer an option to open the canopy. Landing gear parts for both gondolas from each side. Here you can see one of the sides getting assembled together. And as I said before, it will be a bit tricky process, so do not hurry here. It is better to get a right result than to get a misaligned aircraft. And of course, do not forget about the nose weight. I somehow missed if we should apply some nose weight, but still it is necessary because this will help you avoid tail seater. Next, we continue with separate rudders. We assemble the tail wing and elevator. We proceed with various minor parts, including the propellers. Then we install the antennas. Here we continue with landing gear wheels for the main landing gear wheels, and also some minor parts under fuselage. And of course, you will have to decide the armament. So here, the choice will also depend on the marking option you decide to copy. And note that we are given assembly manual for each of the armament options. So basically, you can use all of them, but the final loadout will depend on your marking option and your build decision, let's say. So here you can see that we are given clear instructions on what type of armament can be applied here and there. And next we proceed with the overall picture of the finished aircraft. We also have masks and templates. That's really cool because clear parts will get the proper finish with help of these templates. And this is a first marking option in a white color from US Navy, and might be an interesting choice from 1973. Next one comes in a green color, so this one is slightly different, and it comes from 1969. Another one, white color, and this one is from US Air Forces from what I can see, but still it is light colored aircraft, and we have it from 1972. And one more final fourth marking option, it is also in green color, and it comes from 1976. I'm not sure why it was written that it's fifth marking option. Nevertheless, this kit is already available. You can get it in Modelimex's webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.